welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm presenting you with the first Halloween makeup tutorial of 2022 for my channel, and I give you Billy Butcherson in honor of the release of Hocus Pocus 2. Last year I did create the 3 iconic Sanderson sisters, so I will have those tutorials linked down below for you guys to check out. And since Hocus Pocus 2 is releasing this year, I thought what better way to kick off the Halloween season than paying some tribute to Billy Butcherson, who has such a masterful makeup application in the movie. In this tutorial, I'm also showing you how you can DIY your own Billy Butcherson costume with a pre-bought Billy Butcherson costume. So it's not from scratch, but it's how you can essentially take the pre-bought costume and make it look a little bit more authentic and make it look a lot nicer. If you're new to my channel, definitely make sure that you subscribe because I'm going to be uploading a new Halloween themed makeup tutorial every weekday for the entire month of October, so you guys definitely don't want to miss that. Also, I will have my Halloween character playlist linked down below because I have already created hundreds of character tutorials for you guys to check out in case you need some ideas for the Halloween season. So anyways, with all that being said, if you guys are interested in seeing how you can achieve this Billy Butcherson makeup look, then just keep watching. Hey Spoops, so to get started, I'm going to be showing you how you can customize your Billy Butcherson costume. The items you're going to need is a store-bought Billy Butcherson costume, some fake moss, some paintbrushes, a variety of paints, and some adhesive. I ended up using the tacky glue because I didn't realize, but I was completely out of super glue despite showing it in the video. So I'm going to be laying down some tacky glue with this little sponge brush, and then I'm just going to be laying the fake moss right over top. I ended up having 2 colors. I've had these for a while. I believe I got them from either Walmart or Michael's, and then I'm just going to be kind of mixing the colors, laying them down on top. Of course, you can just use one color like green, but I decided that since I had both, I would go ahead and use both of them. And also, it's just kind of going to give it a little bit more dimension to look like a mixture between grass and dirt and any other decaying items that might be underground with Billy. And so I'm even bringing this down to the cuffs of the hands as well. I'm not putting any of this on the undershirt. I'm mostly just focusing this on the overcoat. And then I'm going to be taking some paint and I'm going to be applying this to the coat. I'm starting off with the dark brown. I'm going to be taking a sponge brush and just stippling this all around the coat. This is going to help add some more dimension, make it look a little bit more dirty, and just really help make it look a little bit more authentic. I'm going to be bringing this down the blouse, focusing it a lot on the collar, and really just building up some dimension on this coat. I'm going to be then adding some of the lighter brown tones as well. Don't forget to add this to the buttons to make them look nice and rested, and then even some of that light cream colored paint too, just to kind of help make it look a little dingy as well, and then especially focus that on the blouse. And that is how you can customize your very own Billy Butcherson costume. Next, we're moving on to the makeup portion of this video, and I'm actually going to be popping on my wig. Funny enough, this is actually my Edward Scissorhands wig, so if you guys haven't checked out that tutorial, definitely feel free to check it out because I did customize it a bit about 2 years ago whenever I filmed that, and I'm actually going to be leaving my hair in a ponytail underneath to kind of mix the two together, and it ended up working out really well. I'm then going to be popping in some brown contact lenses and pin this hair out of my face because we are about to glue down our eyebrows. So in order to do this, I'm going to be taking an Elmer's washable glue stick and a spoolie, but honestly, I didn't even really need the spoolie. I found that a spatula helped me more. I'm going to be just like going ahead and spreading this onto my eyebrow, making sure it's flat before taking some baby powder on a wedge sponge and then going ahead and setting that first layer. Then you're just going to be continuing to repeat these steps until your eyebrow is completely flat to your face. I ended up doing this about 3 times total, I want to say. And then you're going to be going ahead and taking your cotton ball. I like to use the extra jumbo cotton ball and completely unroll it so it is a huge worm. Next, we're going to be taking some liquid latex. I'm going to be taking another wedge sponge, and I'm just going to be going ahead and laying this right on top of my eyebrow. And I decided to go ahead and start with his eye area first to build that up. So I'm going to be taking the jumbo cotton ball, and I used about, I'd say like 3/4 or half of this one, and I'm just going to be laying it in a C shape around my eye before taking some more liquid latex, focusing it on the edges to make sure it is completely glued down to my face, and then really starting to build that up. And I like to use both my finger and the spatula and the wedge sponge just to kind of have a variety of ways to make sure that the cotton ball is completely saturated and that it is a nice smooth consistency. You don't want this to be too lumpy. We do want this to look like a prosthetic, so we're just really trying to make sure that it looks like it is nicely adhered to our face and blends to the rest of our face as well. Next, we're going to be taking some tissues to create texture on our face, and I'm actually going to be separating these tissues into 4 thinner strips, and then I'm going to be applying some liquid latex all over my cheek before taking one of the pieces of tissue down, forming it around the bottom of the eye, and then going ahead and laying that down the rest of my face, making sure to tear it around my mouth and my jaw. And I'm going ahead and letting it naturally wrinkle because this is going to give us that nice textured fake skin that we really want. And I'm going to be going ahead and applying more liquid latex right on top of that to help seal it in place. I'm then going to be taking the back of a makeup brush, and I'm going to be going ahead and creating like these little indentation lines into his face that he has. So I'm going to be really building it up around the eye socket area and then thinning it down as we get closer to the bottom of the face. And I'm just going to be repeating these steps over to the other side of my face as well. I'm then going to be going ahead and applying some more liquid latex to my chin, applying a small strip of tissue onto my chin, and then once again going ahead and sealing that in place with more liquid latex, and then doing the same thing to the upper lip as well. Moving on to the forehead, I'm going to be laying down a nice thin layer of liquid latex, applying another piece of tissue right on top, wrinkling it up, and then sealing that with some more liquid latex. And then we're going to be moving on to the neck. I initially didn't expect to do the neck, and then when I was looking at the photos, it was just kind of quite obvious that he has a very textured neck. So I'm going to be laying some liquid latex all onto the neck area, laying an entire piece of tissue onto it, and then doing the exact same thing, bringing it down my chest a little bit more. For the chest piece, I did make it a little bit into more of a V shape to kind of frame my chest a little bit more, and then I'm going to be adding some to my nose as well, just to kind of help blend that in and give that some more texture too. I'm then going to be taking a little bit of cotton ball and framing that around my nostril just to kind of give him some enlarged, more detailed nostrils too. So I'm just going to be applying some liquid latex onto that and using my spatula to kind of form it to more of the shape that I want. Next, I'm going to be taking my baby powder again, and I'm just going to be going ahead and setting all of this once it has dried before we go ahead and move on to the painting process. I'm going to be taking my Made You Look body paint in Yeti, and on a brush, I'm just going to be going ahead and stippling this all over my face. The good thing about the liquid latex is it does kind of have more of a yellowy cream hue to it, which it kind of works for Billy Butcherson's makeup. So now we're really just going to be enhancing it to make it look a little bit more accurate to him. I'm then going to be taking a mixture of my Made You Look body paint in Sunflower and my Moon Creations body paint in Green, and I'm just going to be going ahead and once again stippling this all over his face. I don't want to make it look too yellow or too green, so definitely mixing it helped a lot, and then I'm just going to be taking a little bit of just the yellow and doing the exact same thing just to kind of give it a little bit more of a dingy tint. And then I'm going to be going into my Made You Look body paint in Oak, and on a chip brush, I'm really going to be watering this down so that way I can splatter it all over my face and chest just to kind of help disrupt and break up the paint a little bit more and make it look a little bit more dirty. I'm then going to be going into my Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival XL palette. I'm going to be taking Lights Out, and on a fluffy shadow brush, I'm really just going to be pressing this into that eye socket area. He doesn't really have that much detail in the original film. I noticed in the newer version, he does have a little bit more of darkness around his eyes, but in the original, it really is just like a light shadow around his eyes. So then I'm going to be going into this quad of brown and black eyeshadows and using this to really bring out the contour color in his face. So I'm going to be applying this down his eye sockets, to his cheekbones, and also to his temples as well, making sure to really build this up, and then I'm going to be applying it around his jaw and chin area as well. I'm then going to be applying it to his chest and also using it to contour his nose a little bit. He has quite a skinny nose, and so I'm definitely trying to use this to make my nose look a little bit smaller and then also to enhance the nostrils. I'm even going to be going back into my black eyeshadow in order to really build up that nostril area a little bit more and help make it look more defined before going back into the oak body paint. And on a small detail brush, I'm going to be applying this into the lines that we created with the liquid latex, just to kind of help give that sunken in rotted look. And then I'm also going to be applying it to the chin area as well, along with the other side of my face. Going into Lights Out, I'm going to be focusing this a lot on the circular part right up by the under eye area and then thinning that down as we go down the line. This is going to help deepen it up a little bit before we go in with more detailed lines using some body paint, but I definitely just wanted to go ahead and use this to really build up these line areas. I'm then going to be going back into my sunflower body paint, and on a chip brush, I'm actually just going to be lightly stippling this all over my face to help break up the paint a little bit. And then we're actually going to be going back into our Lights Out black eyeshadow, and we're going to be using this to deepen the contour all over our face. So as you can see, I'm focusing on my temples. We're going to be bringing this down our eye socket area and then down to our jawline as well. This look really is all about layers. I can't express how much I just kind of kept going back and forth to really build up the color to make it look as accurate as possible. But with the finished product, it is completely worth it, but you definitely do have to work in a lot of layers for this look. I'm then going to be taking my Yeti body paint and I'm going to be applying this to the highlights of those indents on my face before going into my 𝐒𝐸𝐿𝐴 ink body paint, and I'm really going to be applying this into the crevices of those wrinkles on my face. You're also going to make sure to want to bring that down to your neck a little bit and also to the wrinkles of your forehead too. Next, I'm going to be taking my Buckle by New Beauty Black Pearl eyeliner, and I'm going to be going ahead and tightlining my lower waterline before going back into my Lights Out eyeshadow. And once again, I'm going to be deepening up the contour under my cheekbones a little bit more just to make them look more sunken in. And then, of course, with doing this, we're going to be going back into the Yeti body paint and building up that highlight a little bit more on his face. And now we're finally going to be moving on to his stitched mouth. I'm going to be taking a Q-tip with some liquid latex and following the design on the reference photo. He has like an X shape, so I'm going to be taking this dark black navy yarn and I'm going to be going ahead and gluing that to my face one strip at a time. As you can see, I'm continuing with this other X design before going ahead and creating his straight lines that he has over his mouth. He has one X and 3 little straight ones. Once that is completely dried, you just want to go ahead and take a mixture of body paints to paint over that liquid latex to help blend it into your face more. And then of course, since he does chop off his little stitches in the very first scene that we see him, I'm actually going to be going ahead and cutting them for the rest of this video. Feel free to leave them closed, but if you want to be talking, definitely make sure to go ahead and cut it. And then of course, add a little bit of some eyeshadow onto the center of your lips to help accentuate them a little bit more. And that is my completed Billy Butcherson costume and makeup tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see next. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more of my Halloween tutorials. I'm uploading a new Halloween themed makeup tutorial every weekday for the entire month of October, so you guys definitely don't want to miss it. Also, if you haven't already, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You can support me for as little as $1 a month and see all exclusive behind-the-scenes sneak peeks of upcoming makeup looks before anybody else, and it really does help support me and my channel. So once again, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!